I'm Lance Pillersdorf. I am one of the co-founders of Advertising Week, and welcome to our 20th anniversary. So it's a real treat to be here 20 years later. If you would have told my 1995 self I'd be sitting on stage with a legend, I would have said you did pretty well with yourself. So we got a great treat for everyone today as part of our NIL and new sports economy track. So let's get right into it. He's a point guard for Southern Utah University, a creator, owner of a fashion brand, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. He's only 23. Please welcome Hercy Miller. He's a rapper, author, producer, executive, actor, philanthropist, entrepreneur, one of the architects and originators of the sound of hip-hop in the South, the founder of No Limit Records, who changed the music business with his priority of ownership before it was the thing to do. Fashion, sports, films, professional basketball player, coached, which I read last night, NBA players, like Brandon Jennings, Lance Stevenson, DeMar DeRozan. I could be here for about 30 minutes, but the legendary Master P.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get right into the real question that everyone wants to know. In a game of 21,
come on now.
Percy, Mercy, Romeo, and you. Who's winning that game?
It all depends what time period we in. Now, but right now, my youngest son, Hercy and Mercy, they really understand the game, and they play the game way faster than I could play it. And even though I tell people all the time, it's a difference when you come from having to go hunt food than somebody fixing you a plate. So you got to realize I had to hunt the food. And now these guys got an opportunity to have me fix their plates till they fixing their own plates now. So it's a blessing. We come a long way.
So you think you can beat your dad?
I'm a competitor, so I know I'm gonna say I got my money on me, but my dad can hoop for sure.
I still can shoot the three though. I might can't dunk like I used to, but I can still three ball it.
So P, you're the original entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And this is a family business for you.
Yes.
And ownership has always been that priority for you. Can you talk for a second about the value of ownership and some of the brands that you've built over the course of your career?
Well, for me, ownership is so important because when you talk about bridging the wealth gap, how do we bridge the wealth gap if we don't own anything? For my family, I feel like product is the key, and I tell my sons all the time, it's like, get product. When you look at these names, Gucci, Versace, all these different companies, we think those are just great names. These are actually family brands. And so for me, it's all about building family brands. I want to be able to pass something down from generation to generation. So I'm also, education is the key. So you talk about financial literacy, it's so important. I see a lot of young people out here that's going to school, getting these deals, but the main thing, you have to know the business that you're in. You are the business. So think about it, I made $400 a month when I played college basketball. These kids can make millions of dollars now. But what's the goal? So the goal is wisdom. I tell people all the time, they got people that pray for money, you're supposed to pray for wisdom. And so with the wisdom, you can do whatever you want to do, because now the money gonna come. And I want our mindset to change, because our mindset is on now. Let's get the money. But if you don't know what to do with the money, you're gonna lose it.
No, that's a great point. And Hercy, so you're a creator.
Yeah.
You got a fashion brand. Tell us about some of the stuff that you're doing.
So you see here, I'm literally learning from my dad. Everything he does, I try to mimic. I created my own brand, Fearless Dreamer. I've started since I was a Since I was in middle school, I really had the idea. So just being able to do it now, like I said, with NIL really help open up doors so I can just really just build on that. And my big thing with that is, like, I've always been a dreamer. Like, I've been through ups and downs, and I feel like I want to share that with other people too. And just being around my dad so much, I want to be able to just, like he said, I know that product outweighs talent. So when I'm not hooping no more, I want to be able to say that I'm doing this. I have product where even when I'm gone, like, I'm still have stuff in my name for my family, like you said, generational wealth. So I'm really big on that right now.
What are some of the NIL deals that you've done over your, starting at, Tennessee State and Louisville, now at Southern Utah?
I've done a fair share of NIL deals. My first one was Web App America. I worked with CVS, Sarah V, Steve Madden. I can go on and on. But I don't know. I've done a lot of deals, big deals, little deals, and I think it's just it was a way of me being a businessman I am. Like, some of the companies I reached out to, it hasn't always been they reached out to me. So I kind of just feel like it helped me build the business side of my career. Like, I want people to know I'm not just an athlete. I'm a student athlete. I'm a businessman. So
that's great. That's great. And what opportunities do you see for the upcoming year for you?
Well, with me, this is definitely a big year for me. I dealt with injury most of my career. I feel like this is definitely going to be my year I shine. Like I said, also injury also helped me prepare for the business side too. Like, I know, like, one day the ball's gonna stop bouncing. I got to figure out what I want to do in life, what's other things I could do. So that really helped me focus on different opportunities where I can build my name and build my business.
That's great. And so, Pete, you've got two sons currently playing, ball.
Yeah.
Hercy at Southern Utah, and Mercy at University of Houston, where you attended for a little bit too. Yeah. And the NIL world, as we've been talking about, as we're talking about going forward, is a little bit of a wild west at this juncture. It's new. And what advice do you give your sons to help them about the right and wrong partnerships?
Well, my thing is take advantage of everything, but also don't be desperate when you're doing these deals, because a lot of kids out here, they desperate, they just want the money. So I tell people all the time, all money ain't good money. So what I show my sons is do stuff that you like. Don't do stuff saying, oh, well, this don't concern to me. Yeah. Just think about how you're going to promote something that you really don't like. You just want to make some money off it. And then what's the big goal? So my thing for my kids, they want to get to the NBA. So the big goal is not the NIL money. That's the small goal. And I think now you stop being passionate about what you're doing. You stop chasing your dream because you're like, oh, how much money can I get from this school? I think find the right school and then get, like Hercy said, get out there and put the work in yourself. Find the right brands and products that work for you. And I think a lot of us don't do that. We just like, oh, I ain't going to this school. My other son went to Houston because he realized that they had a great coaching staff. He had all kind of multi-million-dollar deals, but he turned them down. He knew that he wanted to get better on defense. So you got to look at those things. What's the long goal? If the long goal is to get to the NBA or get to the league, then some of these things you're going to have to wait and then find the right people that believe in you. So I just think that's the most important thing. If these brands don't believe in you, it don't make sense. So and also don't just go to college, for an NIL deal. Even though it's great that now we can make money using our jersey, our name and likeness. Like I said, I only made $400 a month. So you guys are able to make millions of dollars, but I just wouldn't focus on that because then you forget about the education part. And so for me, the education part is so important because once you get these deals, now how do you keep these deals? Because like Hercy say, some of these deals 30 days. Some of these deals might be a year, but if you got a deal that's 30 days, then what are you going to do if you went and spent this money and brought all this stuff? Yeah.
And how do you reinforce that, looking at, to your sons and to everyone out there, play that long game? Yeah,
so the long game is so important because think about it. Now in the NBA, these guys making $200, $300 million, they're getting all these TV deals. But imagine if you sign all the wrong deals, like with my kids, right? We're not doing tennis shoe deals until you get to the league. So once you get $10,000 or $20,000 from one of these tennis shoe companies, what's going to make them want to give you millions of dollars when you get to the league? So you got to look at the long haul. So sometimes you take these little small deals, and then when it's time to get the big deal, you have no value. And so I just think right now you just got to do what you love. I think if that and the money gonna come. So and also make sure you got the right people on your team. Because think about it, you playing sports all day. You don't have like your parents got to be involved. It's a family thing now. Sure. Then if you got some legal counseling with this, you got to make sure you still know your business. Because I think a lot of people just sign right here. My kids are not doing. He done brought a bunch of deals home. And I'm like, son, we can't do that. Yeah. Even though he wanted to do it, I was like, look at what the deal memo is. And so you got to have a good team also, too, because it'll be stuff that you might not see, right? Yeah. Because there was some people that he wanted to do deals, and I'm like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. As a family, you can't do that. Yeah. Even though the money look good, but then you got to think about your future.
Hercy, what are one of those things that you brought back? You don't have to give specific names to brands.
We don't want to do that. We ain't gonna.
I can't even speak on it. I can't even speak on it.
You know, some things just leave it where it's at. Yeah, my grandparents always told me, if you ain't got good news to say, don't say nothing. So now, but it's a lot of companies come out here that maybe don't work with you, right? It don't work with you, but down the line, the money might be good, but it might be bad for your brand. Yeah.
Let's go back to the financial literacy part of this conversation. I know that's something that you are, extremely, passionate about, and something that you're constantly, talking about. What are some of the things that you're seeing student athletes, make mistakes on when it comes to managing their money, in the short term?
Yeah, I think in the short term, when you look at it, right, do you really know how important credit is? Do you value your money? Do you understand what compound interest is? Do you know, like, the taxes that you need to pay on this money? So my thing is, I made all the mistakes, so I'm not going to let my kids make those mistakes. So when you get this money, the right way to take it. So think about this, right? Y'all put these deals in your personal name. Like, my kids are not doing that. Open up an LLC, get a corporation, and then get these deals that way. But a lot of kids just want to sign their name off on it. Next thing you know, you owe 50% taxes on this money, and then you're stuck, and you're trying to figure out, well, how come I owe so much money? So also, what I love about what my son is doing is he have a passion with everything that he do. So he got a purpose and a passion. So I taught him philanthropy, giving back, and then I'm proud of him that he opened up his own foundation to be able to touch other people and give back to other kids, both of them. And that's what I love about this. Like, I feel like if you give back and you do the right thing, those blessings will keep coming. So.
100%. And Hercy, do your teammates come to you for advice? Knowing that.
Yeah. So.
To your left.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of like the unk of my team. Like, everyone come to me, ask me questions about like what I need to do to set this up. How do I get like a deal? And I tell them, like, honestly, like, there's sometimes where you got to reach out and you got to know, like, if you do a deal, like, not like my dad said, not every deal is good. And I'm not saying like money-wise or anything, just like you got to know what your image is and what you want people to look at you as. Yeah. And then also, like, my dad taught me, like, put everything in LLC. So that's one big thing if I talk to anyone. I tell them.
Because we'd have lost a lot of money off of deals. He got big deals, right, where they made the deal to him personally. And I'm like, right there, you done lost 50% of the deal right there. And so we don't think about that because we just want that money. And so we have to change that mindset. I feel like once a family come together, like, you in this together, you send your kids to college, don't just leave them out there. And I know a lot of parents get to the point where you like, you know what, I'm going to let my kid make his decision. And I feel like that's the wrong thing to do. Because the kid really don't know, because they thinking they want to get them something nice to ride in right quick. They don't understand the big picture of the future. And so that I'm looking at 10 steps ahead. Even when my kids doing these deals, I'm saying, okay, what do you want out of this? I know you want the money right now, but what are you going to do? And when this money gone, then what? Because these deals might not keep coming back. So think about it, the laws are changing right now. You guys got to take advantage of this now, because the laws are constantly changing. And now the colleges are taking this back to where they want the money to go through them now. So think about it. We came at a good time where it didn't matter. It went through, it went through that kid that's making that deal. But now the colleges want to take over that. So things about to change because they figuring out, okay, how do I control these kids now? And so I think that's the next step of the NIL deals is what's about to happen, that the colleges is going to control the money.
Hercy, well, if you could pass on, what's the number one thing when it comes to financial literacy that your dad's taught you?
Well, this is the crazy thing. So my dad literally, I don't know when he started it, but the whole family, like, he printed out this packet where he gave us different definitions, like what's economics, what's LLC, and he gave us all these things where we quizzed each other for weeks. And then we had a whole competition with the family, who can memorize the most, who can, if you're quizzed right now, ask what is what, who will be able to understand and know what it is. So I feel like the big thing he always taught me is just know what you're doing it for. Like he said, it's like you don't got to do everything for money, or like you got to know your worth, you know, and your reason why. So I feel like just wisdom, him teaching me like what wisdom is about financial literacy is the biggest thing.
We need that Master P University, that
Yes.
packet that you're giving to your kids.
Yeah, no, we got a master class. It's called Master P Master Class. So you could go online at masterpmasterclass.com. And I think the most important thing for me is I tell people all the time, it's not what you make. We tell your work by what you give. And so that's why we created teamhopefoundation.org to make a difference, to be able to touch the youth, be able to touch the elderly, and not just think that this money is going to be there forever, because you can't take it with you. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think that, oh, I got all this money. It's also about having integrity.
Yeah.
So if you don't have integrity, your money really ain't worth nothing. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more, that for everyone that's not familiar with the Team Hope Foundation?
Yeah. So Team Hope Foundation, I know we're dealing with education, financial literacy. We also dealing with mental illness. I think a lot of people don't talk about their mental health, and we call it mental strength. And also Team Hope is about helping the elderly, because a lot of people forget about the elderly people in the community. So we target that, focus on that, and it's just all about making a difference.
That's great. That's great. And you were talking earlier about Hercy's Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So yeah, I started off with Team Hope, like since I was a little kid. Like we had like toy drives, turkey giveaways, and I kind of just felt like once I got old enough, I wanted to create my own foundation and break off and do my thing, because it's like, obviously we work together, but I know like eventually I'm gonna do my own thing. So I created my Fearless Dreamer Foundation, where I pretty much do the same thing like my dad does in my community now. Like inner city kids, I always try to just go to schools, read books to them, teach them about like financial literacy, about the right things to do in life, like what's the wrong and right. And I also have my camp, I do Camp 15. I do that every year. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you talked about mental health first.
Yes.
And this one's for Hercy. Being injured.
Yeah.
For a couple of years, and how did you manage that? Along with everything else.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Like you said, mental health is big. When I got injured, I was really thinking like you were in your head every second. Like, damn, is it over for me? What I need to do now? What's my next step? So you're constantly just thinking. And I think the big thing that helped me was having a family around me who was supportive and told me like, it's not the end. There's other things you can do, and we find different ways. I guess that also helped me shed a light on my injury, because my injury wasn't, to me, I don't see it as a bad thing anymore. At first I was like, wow, I'm injured, like what else can I do? But it also helped me like be able to get close with my family, figure out what I want to do in the future, different things, different hobbies I can learn. So honestly, I think just having the support is really big.
I think the failure part of it, because everybody want to be successful. When you look at the NBA, I tell my kids all the time, it's 10 million people trying to get 400 jobs.
Yeah.
So your mental has to be right. And you have to know that you're going to fail. Most of us in this room that's playing sports are going to fail. Not saying that most of us could make it. It's a big chance. It's like hitting the lottery. So what do you have to fall back on it? And so that's why I say take advantage of these NIL deals, invest into a company, get you a brand, build your own product. I started my company with $10,000. So a lot of these kids that made way more than that getting these deals. So imagine taking a company and building your own brand and what you could do. Like Hercy say, I mean, he didn't know. He was going through something for a couple of years that he didn't get it fixed. He didn't get his hip fixed after he got hurt. So he was constantly down, and now he got a chance to really show his talent, which he's going to be like a big kept secret now. And I just think that we also got to put our trust and faith in God. You know, without God, I feel like, because we got to pray about this all the time, because you just don't know. Like, this is something that you being an athlete, being a student athlete, injuries do happen. And so how are you going to get back when you fall down? You know, not being afraid to quit, saying I'm never going to quit. Because most people just stop. The mind get to you saying, oh, you're not worth it, or a coach tell you something. Think about it, because y'all know, I mean, the ones that are in college is a lot dealing with coaches.
Yeah.
So if a coach don't feel like, oh, I gave you this money and you ain't performing, they're going to get rid of you. Not literally get rid of you, but you know they're going to play with your mind, and then now you can't even do what you need to do. Oh. So you have to be prepared for this is a journey. This is a marathon. And it's going to take a village. It's going to take a family, because think about, a lot of kids think now they're in college, they're grown, which I felt like I was grown once I got to college, but I still had that support system that I could call back home, somebody that loved me and care about me, that's going to show. That's the same thing I do with my kids. It's like I don't have to know everything. I'm learning from them, and they're learning from me too. And so I feel like as we're on this journey with this NIL thing, we just have to keep studying and keep learning and keep growing.
About that. You know, let's move to the Super Bowl's coming to your hometown.
Yes.
I know you're excited about that. There's been a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of talk about who's performing and everything else.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you in your hometown during Super Bowl time?
Yeah, for me, I'm doing big business for the Super Bowl, to be able to be an African American owned business, and to be able to be a part of that is a blessing. It's not about performing at the Super Bowl for me. It's about creating products and brands. And it's all about bridging the wealth gap, taking advantage of opportunities. I feel for the Super Bowl in New Orleans this year, we'll be able to take advantage of a lot of business opportunities. So I am the ambassador of entertainment for the city of New Orleans. So we'll be able to make sure other people get the fair share. We talk about diversity in business, so I want to do that. I want to make sure that it's not about a white or black thing. It's about a good people thing. So when I talk about diversity, I'm talking about giving women opportunities, giving females that started their business from nothing, and all of a sudden they get an opportunity to be a part of the Super Bowl and have their products out there. Giving Latinos, blacks, Asians, whites, it don't matter. Like everybody that's considered an underdog, that's really not in the big side of the big business with a big brand, making sure some of these moms and pop brands have opportunities. So that's what I love about the Super Bowl this year. You're gonna see a lot of product owned by a lot of people that probably never had a chance or opportunity to make money and be a part of that. So we're about bridging the wealth gap.
You're in a room full of advertising and marketing people. What's the Master P commercial that we see on Super Bowl Sunday?
If y'all want me for y'all commercial, if you want the best commercial ever, the Master P family, me, Hercy, Mercy, my other son, my daughter, she a singer. Just imagine, we're gonna take your brand to the next level. We're gonna make you say, So that's what we're gonna do for this Super Bowl in New Orleans. Any brand that want us as a family, we definitely gonna make that. We're gonna skyrocket. Because you know what? I'm about to be the next Shaq, the next Snoop. They on every commercial. It's time for the Master P, right, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's what it is. I'm just telling you, I'm doing all commercials now. Y'all know that. This is how I started. I went from the popcorn man, so I was poor, right? I was selling popcorns in the Superdome. Then I went to the ice cream man, and now I'm going to the businessman, and then next I'll be the commercial man. So I could sell anything. You know what? I think I could sell water to somebody drowning. Who y'all ever had did that in y'all commercials? And I'm gonna make them say, while I'm selling them the water. Whatever we gonna sell them, whatever the product, I'm gonna sell it. Cause I taught Snoop how to do that, right? So everybody thought Snoop's career was over with, right? And that's what I'm talking about, uplifting each other. I was able to bring Snoop along into my camp and put his music out, and the rest is history now. I mean, he's probably one of the biggest entertainers in the world right now, but he put the work in, and he stayed focused, and he just kept fighting, he kept going. And so I think that's what this is about us, with our family. I feel like I'm going to take my family on this journey for the Super Bowl. So whatever brands that want to be a part of this, we're going to make them say, I think that's all we got to do. We're going to make the work. You know, because right now we went on TikTok, they doing a Master P. What would Master P say? It's everybody. Young, old, all they saying is,
My kids are saying it, and they don't even know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I seen a 15-year-old kid like just going crazy. What do Master P say? He was just, And then a lady had my dog. She said, P, this dog's still saying after 30 years. I'm like, you still have that dog? So now, y'all, but I definitely would love to get with the right brands and work together. So doing these partnerships and understanding, and also being a man of integrity. You guys know that I've been doing this a while, been doing the right thing. But doing the right thing in the entertainment world is not sexy, it's not cool, but we want to change that. And I tell people all the time, how do you change that? Then we got to focus on doing positive things. And so that's what I'm doing with my family. It's like, we're not perfect. I want y'all to know that we're not perfect, but we do have integrity. And I changed my life. My heart is pure, and it's about making a difference for me right now. Like, I want my legacy to be, when I'm not here no more, it's like, man, that man been here, he did the right thing, and he wanted to make a difference. That's it.
So I'll end with Hercy. What's your dream partnership beyond, obviously, being with your dad and the commercial for the Super Bowl, which I'd love to see?
My dream partnership. I've been thinking about it. I kind of want to do like a commercial with Hershey's. Like, my dad said he want to make them say, like, I'm like, Hershey with Hershey's would be a great idea. So that's what I got on my mind right now.
I love that. I appreciate you for being here. Thanks for, all the game that you gave everyone here.
Yes.
Hercy, thanks for being here. You got the season coming up, and if you're looking for your creative directors, if you're looking for your Super Bowl spot, he's sitting right next to me. So thank you guys for being here.
Yes, sir.